We're bright and early. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Brief. And we're reaching you live right here at Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos. I am Bukola Koka. It's the 5th day of the year and, of course, our 5th day on the show as well. The show becomes us already. Forget about the steam. The steam is what gets us kicking. And so we'll start off straight with the headlines before we bring you what to expect on the show this morning. Starting with Plateau State, the call for justice for the almost 200 people killed on Christmas Eve in Plateau may just be yielding results, as 8 suspects have been arrested in connection with the carnage. There's more. According to the police, the suspects were apprehended at various locations following intelligence reports. He adds that security has been increased in the affected communities for resettlement of internally displaced persons to their homes.
Concerning the Inspector General of Police deployment, we have been we are getting tremendous success from that process. It will also interest you to know that 7 persons, in fact, as at the last count, there are now 8 of them under investigation in our custody, and they have been moved to the State CID, where the AIG Zone 4 and the Commissioner of Police are overseeing the affairs of the operation and also the investigation. And concerning the people going back to their villages, it is not that we only restore normalcy. We restore normalcy and we are escorting people back to their villages. The DPO Bokos, when he was giving us his brief, told us that he has done that. So when we get the list of those people that have been returned back to their villages, I'll surely let you people know. But that is what we are doing now. We don't want any long stay outside the community. That is the mandate of the mindset of the Inspector General of Police, to ensure that these people don't only return back to that particular locality, both Bokos, LGA, and Barikin Ladi, even Mangu and Riyom, those places that were earlier attacked. He wants to see that Plateau State is totally safe. So all of them are returning back to their communities, and peace is being restored, and by the grace of God, it will be sustained.
And now to the humanitarian situation of those displaced as a result of the attacks. In one of the camps hosting over 1,000 of them in Bokos local government area, the people eagerly await security reinforcement so they can return to their homes and resume their farming and other engagements.
Since that time, our people that survive are not in the villages. If you see, they are all around here. People, they are battling, and we thank some of the individual people, and they are helping the people, giving them food, giving them clothes to wear, and a lot of things people are helping. But in the villages, nobody is in that village again, because the villages is completely destroyed.
And there may be respite for some residents in Katsina and Zamfara states as troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji have neutralized 10 terrorists, rescued 9 kidnapped victims, and recovered weapons in both states. The feat was recorded in recent dry season clearance operations conducted on January the 3rd. The combined troops of the Operation Hadarin Daji in an offensive operation identified terrorist enclaves at Basari and Safana local government areas of Katsina State, where the 10 of the terrorists were neutralized while others fled with gunshot wounds. And similarly, on the same day, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji operating in Dansadao and Dandala villages in Maru local government area of Zamfara State rescued 9 kidnapped victims, including 5 women and 4 babies. Now, certain things are sacred, right? But not in the eyes of some, as you'll soon find out. The Bauchi State Police Command has handed over 7 children who were reportedly stolen from the state and trafficked to other parts of the country. The police commissioner of the Bauchi State Command, who disclosed this, says the children were sold for between 300 and 400,000 naira. Our correspondent reports that the children aged between 3 and 8 have been missing for about 7 years.
There's going to be a lot of movements to Anambra, to Lagos and to Adamawa in furtherance of this, because we wanted a situation where we would checkmate and close all gaps in the investigation so that they will not get out of it. Because the other person, unfortunately, sir, he has been caught up with this kind of thing sometime, I think, in 2014 or thereabout.
NAPTIP should be able to work very hard, because this state has shown that it is the center of the syndicate. And if this thing is not nipped in the bud, it is capable of bringing very serious suspicion and mistrust between the different people of Nigeria and even touch on the federation. Because it is very unacceptable for people to be stolen and be sold and be changed. Their genealogy, their linguistics, their faith, everything changed just because of money.
Glad that they're back, right? To other stories. Has the political storm in Rivers State begun to settle? An important question to ask, as the leader of the four-man group in the State Assembly, who resigned his position as Speaker only days ago, has withdrawn his contempt proceeding suit against 25 of the 27 defected lawmakers. Recall that following Mr. Edison Ehie's emergence as a factional Speaker of the House, he had declared vacant the seats of 25 of his colleagues for defecting from the PDP to the APC. The Martins Amewule-led House, however, continued to sit and carry out their functions. When the matter came up for hearing of applications pending before the court on Wednesday, counsel to the claimant, Macbarango Esquire, informed the court about a notice of discontinuance filed by his clients. He applied that the court should give effect to the said notice. Nigerians may now rest easy regarding the purported plan to increase the petrol pump price, as there's more assurance that there's no such consideration. This comes as the National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Ahmed Fashola, says there is no such plan. The Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, had earlier debunked reports that it planned to increase the price of petrol to 1,200 naira per litre.
We don't have plans to increase weapon price. There's no basis for that for now. And equally, there's no signal from NNPC that it should increase. So we cannot do that on our own, except NNPC come out and say, okay, we are going to increase weapon price. So on our own, there's nothing like that. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to public to stop panic buying, and there's nothing like that. It's just a rumor.
The Minister of Steel Development, Mr. Shaibu Audu, says Nigeria and China are set to build a new steel company in the country and construct a military hardware at the moribund Ajaokuta steel plant. This is contained in a statement signed by the Steel Development Ministry's Head of Press and Public Relations, Salamatu Jibaniya. According to the statement, the move follows the visit led by the minister and some top government officials during their tour of Luan Steel Holding Group in Hefei and Guangzhou regions of China. Now, outside our shores, the first day of school after the annual winter break was a sad one for students of Perry High School in Iowa, the United States, as many were injured during a shooting. The school serves about 1,785 students, and one of the school teachers says she heard about 6 to 7 gunshots around 7:40 a.m. local time. Injured students were transported to a nearby medical center for treatment, while the police says the shooter has been taken down and no longer poses a threat to the community. And finally, well, I was about to tell you that the prize money for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the AFCON has been increased to a record, increased by 40%, yes, to be precise. I could go on with the story, but guys, let's make progress. Each time I think about the prize money for the Super Eagles, or even on the international scene, the English Premier League and the other leagues on the international scene, I consider, a change of jobs, but I'm more afraid of a lifelong injury, so I'd rather stick to my microphone.
Please have your seat. Just sit down. Just sit down. I see what you did there.
I should take my seat, right?
Please sit down, obviously. I see what you did there. You're projecting Super Eagles as the winner of AFCON. Well, the prize money is for whoever emerges a winner of AFCON. But yeah, we can actually prophesy.
No pressure approach. No
$7
pressure.
million.
We're
not putting you on that. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the morning brief. I mean, quite a lineup of stories you had there. We'll get into some of them, some of the highlights for me from that story. But hey, we are live. This is Channels Television's a perfect way to start your morning. That's what we call it. I'm Kayode Okikiolu.
And I'm Jeffrey Ozong, and I'm sure you're wondering, what is going on? Where are the jackets? Where are the, yes, we're still wearing our jacket. It's a Friday, so let's keep things chill. Let's just be as chill as possible to ensure that we enjoy the best of the weekend. So, hey, you're going to see a lot of things on the show today, but we're going to chit-chat about some of the things. I heard some stories that one of the things that caught my attention was how you pronounce Denson Down. How do you know?
Sokola has a knack.
Yeah, she just have a knack for pronouncing
the accent.
I have an ear for languages. So
really?
I'm able to, manipulate through a lot of names from, the Nigerian terrain, but not necessarily outside.
Can you say that again?
Densado. Well, the Hausa people can correct me if I didn't get the term.
Densado.
Can we make progress?
All right, so staying in the north, one of the stories that caught my attention is the fact that, hey, we have been screaming and shouting that this carnage on the plateau has to stop. So when we see arrest, at least that's a first step. We don't just want to see arrest, we want to see prosecution, we want to see people go to jail, we want to see people incarcerated for carrying out such acts on Christmas Eve when people are supposed to be by the next day having hangovers, we're mourning, and almost 200 people or about that number. So when we see the police and the authorities swing into action to ensure that everybody who is involved, as long as they're the right people, they face justice, that is what the country and democracy is all about. So we applaud the authorities. Don't just end at arrest. We want to see them in court. We want to see them prosecuted. We want to see them found guilty. If indeed they are guilty, we want to see them in jail.
Absolutely. And it's not too much to ask for, guys. It's essentially what government is for, the security and welfare of citizens. So people should not feel they can commit crimes, such heinous crimes, and go away with it. You know, what hurts me even more, just as a writer to that, Jeff and Bukola, is the fact that there are very sad reports even coming out of southern Kaduna right now. So we're battling and grappling with what's happened on the plateau, trying to get justice for the victims. And now we're talking about southern Kaduna. And I wish that this will be the year when we'll, for once, just have some sort of respite, particularly those communities that have come under attacks time and again. In fact, Nigeria as a whole. Yes, I know we can talk about shootings in the US. People say, well, it happens in other parts of the world as well. But hey, come off that, please. Let's stop that conversation this year. These are lives we are talking about. So yes, the police says 8 suspects have been arrested. We will follow that story and ensure that justice is not just seen to be done, but it's actually done in the right sense of it. So we'll follow the prosecution. And if there isn't any, we're going to ask the questions to ensure that this hopefully does not repeat itself again. But we heard, guys, one of the residents, displaced person, saying, well, they're still waiting for the police to come escort them back to their residents, to their communities, saying that it's been deserted. And you'll understand why. These people do not want to be killed again. So we hope that security agencies can step up the work. Yes, kudos to them so far. Some good work has been done, I must say, but we need to step up all of that and ensure that at least we get some sort of security.
You just mentioned southern Kaduna, and I heaved a sigh, not one of relief, more of heaviness, because I've been to southern Kaduna before. Sometime in 2016, 2017, at the height of the killings, I visited Gwoska in Kafanchan, local government area. And as a reporter, your story never leaves you. True. And that has never left me, years down the line. And the narrative, from southern Kaduna has not changed. It's still about how the people are being targeted because of the abundance of their land, and where several people are killed time and again, and the situation seems intractable. It's not acceptable. So, as Jeff has said, the momentum should be sustained, either it's in southern Kaduna or in Tudumbiri or in Plateau State. Perhaps this should be one of the KPIs of the minister superintending over, security. go after the suspects if any arrests have been made.
Yeah.
As the Plateau governor said, there had been no prosecutions in the past. This time around, there must be prosecutions. There must be convictions. People must serve out jail terms. And if people want land, they should go about getting land in a legitimate manner.
Yeah, just before we get off your top stories, of course, I always say the stories from River State is of interest to me because, Kayode will say for obvious reasons, everything that happens in River State since this feud, imbroglio, and all of that has always been controversial. Somebody resigned, and it's controversial because of the content of his resignation. He resigned as both speaker and member, and then they kicked back, so you were never a speaker. So it's been back and forth. Yesterday, he withdrew his suit. You know, he had declared their seat vacant when he was the speaker of a four-man house, and then he pursued that in court, and finally yesterday he said, look, I'm not going to pursue that. Whether is this part of the... So I'm saying that if you watch the politics of River State, everybody is trying to walk around some kind of a landmine, trying to be careful because everybody's watching. Each time everybody wakes up, they're looking at that resolution. What will be implemented today? So perhaps the power brokers are looking at how best to go around this without inflaming anyone, without offending anyone. So we will keep our eyes on River State, but I can guarantee you something. It's not over.
Let me ask you this,
it's
Jeff.
not close to over.
And for obvious reasons, I say again. I wonder when the people of River State, when they see, because this is like season 10, really, episode whatever of River's political drama
and we
series.
could script to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We could have a series dedicated to that. But I'm curious because you are very familiar with the terrain and the people. When these political drama, for lack of a better term, not to trivialize what's going on, because sometimes it's just mind-boggling. Why are these things happening? But when they play out, I wonder, how do the people of River State take it? Do you take it that, oh, they've come again, let's just let them do their thing? But how do they internalize this?
It depends on how it affects the people. From what I've noticed, there are some crises that are just political. You know, it doesn't affect the people in the community, in the resident, but this one is very, very sensitive. The reason is very obvious. So if you understand the politics of River State and who has governed River State, we had the likes of Melford Okilo, who governed during the time of Shagari. So he was from Bayelsa, then it was not Bayelsa. So he was an Ijoman. He's an Ijoma, or he was an Ijoma because he's passed on now. Then when you come to 1992, we had another Ijoman called Rufus Ada George, who is still alive. And then afterward, we now had the issue of, Dr. Peter Odili from the upland. Then Rotimi Amechi came from the upland. And then Nyesom Wike then had issues because another upland wanted to succeed upland. So eventually it was 24 years of upland. So this is one chance that the Ijaw people are now in power. So you see that sensitivity.
So there's an ethnic angle to all of this.
When we saw that move to impeach the governor, and the deputy is from the upland. So if they impeach the governor, that means the power has gone back to the upland. So you see how now it affects the policy. So if they don't manage this carefully, it's going to be an upland versus riverine and all of that. So that's why everybody's very careful.
You know what, guys? There's so much to talk about on the show this morning. We're just getting started. I know the conversation around AFCON may get a lot of people talking as well. $7 million prize money. Super Eagles, you have to win that money, okay?
No pressure.
Not by hook or crook. But guys, let's run you through what to expect on the show this morning. It's a big day for us, absolutely. Friday, whatever you want to call it. But this has been trending. The Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, that's Femi Gbajabiamila, has been trending in the news as a result of the commissioning of projects set to be constructed by him in Lagos State. Now, the big debate has been, were the projects done with his personal funds, his personal money? Aren't they constituency projects funded by government from when he was in the House of Representatives? Some others say, well, it's very commendable of him. And in fact, they're asking other politicians to sort of emulate him, talking about hostels, hospital, even police infrastructure and the rest. So that has been big in the news. We'll take you through that particular one and then sort of break it down for you on the show this morning.
Bright idea, you know, when implementing constituency projects, look the way of the needs of the people. So police infrastructure is the way to go. Speaking of what more to expect, the money-making industry. I like that, MMM, money-making music industry. So,
You know
well, not the MMM of some years ago, ladies and gentlemen. This is about music, money-making music industry, plus harnessing the potential of the entertainment and tourism industry in Nigeria. We have one of the big names in the industry, and I'm, you know, quite excited about that. As long as he is around, you're promised of soul, jazz, and of course, a lot of inspiration. Also joining us on the show to review 2023 and preview what to expect this year, particularly as it has to do with behind the scenes, you know, the outlook of musicians particularly. We have some big names as well in the fashion and music scene. So there's a lot to expect.
There's a lot to expect. That's why it's Friday or Friday, as you call it. Now, that's not all. For those of you who would resolve this year, you know that popular phrase that has been trending for days now, we no go gree, or what did they get that?
No grief for
no
anybody.
grief for anybody, yeah, no grief for anybody. So, well, we have a fitness coach who will be joining us at some point on the show. So for those of you who have resolved, like Bukola, to reduce, what did you want to resolve?
No, Jeff, I talked about self-improvement.
No,
Don't go there.
You said something personal. No, she said something personal.
Even though I'm not averse to fitness.
Yeah,
you know, I go to the gym once in a while.
Tell them about it.
So for those of you who want to be fit, you want to look good, you want to look smart and all of that, hey, well, today will be a good time to be on the show. That's why you see all dressed up like that. At some point, we're going to pull off our jacket and get in the gig and see how much it goes. Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to see some
It's
biceps.
a big package, absolutely.
Or minus biceps. Forgive me.
We know what Bukola wants to reduce. It's vague. We know. Just forget.
You know, while we want to start your morning on a cheery note, absolutely, it's a perfect way to start the morning, bright, cheery, with that energy. But we have to give you the news. And one of the big stories trending, which we referenced earlier, is Southern Kaduna. And, you know, sometimes we just wish Southern Kaduna will come up in the news and you talk about infrastructure development, you talk about tourism, you talk about farming, you talk about all of the beautiful things you want to see about Nigeria. But let's just walk you through some of the tweets and trends coming out of Southern Kaduna this morning. We'll take a look at this one from Ugochukwu Ugwoke, and this is on X, saying each time you see the Southern Kaduna, it's always for something sad and horrible. Goes on to say, in the past 24 hours, terrorists have killed no fewer than 40 people in several villages in Southern Kaduna. 17 were killed in 3 villages in Dawaki Ward, Kauru local government area, and at least 24 in Gefe, Kajuru local government area. Yes.
Sad. Well, this one is from Admund Shinobi, and they say, I don't know whether it's a he or a she, my mom could not sleep for weeks during the constant attacks on Southern Kaduna because she kept on losing people she knew. Any call she got from the village, she almost began to shed tears, I believe. Yet you want to tell me I don't know what I'm speaking about? You can't gaslight me.
Quite sadly. This is coming from Shilong Gabriel, says, our Southern Kaduna people have been in pain too many a time to even keep count. An attack happened in some localities over the past 24 hours. I sympathize with our people, and I lend my voice to calling for justice for our people. Quite sad.
So we'll keep our eyes definitely on what's going on in Southern Kaduna. We're ensuring that no one is left behind.
Not at all.
This year. So to security agencies, this is yet another wake-up call. I know people have said it's what happened on the plateau, and then because of tensions on the plateau, the attackers decided to go to Southern Kaduna. Whatever the case is, this is criminality. This is a crime being committed, and that's why we have law enforcement.
I think the best way to put it, this is no longer acceptable.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes when you're reading the news and you're seeing all these numbers, you may be unconsciously desensitized. You're just, 3 people killed, numbers. 5 people killed, 10 people killed. These are people's parents,
absolutely,
people's children, people's mothers, people's fathers. It has to stop. It has to stop.
Yeah,
this has to stop.
And I know, another part of the commentary that comes from that part of the country is like, okay, it's not just, the other side that is being killed, either it's the indigenes or the settlers that are being killed. people are being killed as well. But the important thing, and we should emphasize it, is that we must get to a point in our history that we begin to see ourselves, first of all, as Nigerians, before we see ourselves as sectional or from a particular ethnic group. Only then can we begin to live in unity.
All right.
And without justice, there can't be peace.
Well, there's more. There's more to come for you. This one is from the NYC. Recall the federal government's decision to suspend certificates from schools in the Republic of Benin and Togo. Well, the NYC has also been speaking, coming off that investigative piece done by the reporter. Don't forget, he got the certificate for 600,000 naira without even going to school or classes, then went for youth service. So the NYC naturally has been sort of indicted in this one, and they have a statement, a response of some sort, and they've been explaining that, well, it looks like their system was breached twice. How did that happen? Well, take a look at this particular tweet. It's a response from Fashal Diamond saying, Nigeria doesn't have database. Simple. How many times will someone do biometric verification? So the database conversation is up again, guys.
This person, I think this is from, Dundere, right? Dundere, _Dundere says, what happened to the thumbprint every corps member do at camps? And also during monthly clearance, do you just delete it at the end of every service here? I was quite curious about this particular one because if phone numbers can be changed, emails can be changed, but biometric is a security feature and is very particular to an individual. So if that is breached, then there's a critical question to be asked.
Yeah, very important point there, because the biometric for the person is the same regardless of whether or not they change their number. So why did the system give him an opportunity to be able to change his number? So that's the question we should be asking the NYSC this morning. And, it's important that their system is upgraded such that there won't be a breach in the future.
So we'll take a moment, come back to take some of your tweets on X. It's quite confusing, but yeah, you get the point. But when we return, immediately after we come back, we're having our very first guest on the show. We're talking entertainment and the tourism industry. It's a money-making industry, but how well have we been able to harness this industry? He's been a radio presenter, a musician, an executive producer. It's a face you know and have come to love. So stay with us right here. So the Morning Brief on Channels Television. All right, you're welcome back to the Morning Brief right here on Channels Television. It's Friday. The list goes on and on. But it looks like we might just want to take a look at what's happening with the weather this morning. Yeah, it's a year to not grieve for anybody, but you also need to know what to expect during the day. So let's walk through what the weather would look like for today. Let's start off with no partiality here. Yeah. There you go. Take a look at it. Abeokuta, 34 degrees, high, low is 19. So it looks like it's going to be sunny in Abeokuta. That's the Ogun State capital, southwest Nigeria. It was quite cloudy yesterday in Lagos, particularly around this time. A lot of people expected rain, but it didn't quite come, so don't worry. It might just come in the coming days. But that's it for Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. In the nation's capital, however, highest temperature is also 34 degrees, but the lowest is lower than Abeokuta. It's 12 degrees Celsius, so looks like there might be a little bit of cloud, but yes, it's still mostly sunny as well. I know we've been having some sort of extreme temperature in some parts of the country, but it looks like Abuja is tapered down a bit this morning.
And still in the north, Bauchi State to be precise, the temperature is hovering between 34 degrees and 12 degrees Celsius. So a bit sunny, and you want to grab your water, as Kayode always advises, and don't forget your umbrella as well. Your umbrella is not just for the rain, it's also to shield you from the sun.
If you head out to Benin City, the heartbeat of the nation, 36 degrees, and it looks like there'll be a bit of thunderstorm. So a bit of precaution for you. If you're driving, just put the umbrella somewhere. If you're working, I'm not sure what to advise you.
Jeffrey, how? Driving umbrella? Jesus,
put in your car somewhere.
Oh, I get it.
Put in the car somewhere. So if you're walking, I'm not sure what to advise. Maybe you have these small umbrellas that you can put in your bag if you're a lady. But if you're a guy, I'm not sure what to advise.
Don't forget that there's some people who do not drive,
That's what I'm saying. If you're walking, I'm not sure what to advise.
And don't forget it in the bus.
And if we head out to Bida in in Adamawa State, you can see sunny weather. I think, is this Calabar now?
That's Calabar.
30 degrees.
30 degrees. So it's not really hot in Calabar
really
for the highest, but the low is not really low as well. So I think this is one of the, the best that you find around today. Enugu is quite hot, actually, 35 degrees Celsius, and low is 20 degrees Celsius, I shall say.
Yeah. In Gusau, its temperature is projected to be high, 34 degrees Celsius, and the lowest could be 18 degrees Celsius. So another sunny weather expected in Gusau. In Ibadan, Jeffrey?
Ibadan, you can say, okay, we moved on from there. So Jalingo, 36 degrees. We've head out to just up north. You see the weather there. So 38 degrees, okay, Jalingo, and then in Jos is 30 degrees, so quite high. So wherever you're going, so if you look at your screen and you can decipher what the temperature looks like in terms of the numbers, is good. But if you're not familiar with numbers, just look at the symbol. Maybe you can make sense out of it. Is sunny? Are there going to be thunderstorms and all of that? So, hey, that is what the weather will look like today, the 5th of January, the brand new year. But hey, we did tell you, we have a superstar in the building, and that's how we used to say it in the entertainment, in the building. Okay, so let's give that vibe. Well, with us, it's so many things. He's musician, he's been an OAP, executive producer of television series, like the list is endless. So, but for now, let's say what he will be comfortable with. He's a co-founder and chief creative officer of Live Sport 360, the one and only Dare Art Alade.
Good morning. This is where we clap and say, put your hands
together. I think the first time I ever heard your name, I didn't grow up in Lagos.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Port Harcourt.
All right, okay.
So I think I heard your name when it came to, what was that thing again they called it? This Project Fame.
Right.
There was this gentleman somewhere. We were in Nigeria. We didn't know what was going on in South Africa. And all of a sudden we heard there's a Nigerian somebody representing Nigeria on a show called Project Fame. Am I correct?
Correct.
And then everybody was like, okay, who is this guy? Handsome, good looking, and killing it. And so maybe walk us through that journey in a bit.
Yeah, sure. But before that, what we usually want to do is get your thoughts on some of the big stories. Yes, you're in the entertainment industry, but that's in the context of Nigeria.
Yeah, we all live in,
Exactly, the political situation and governance. And what's played out in Jos? Now we're seeing Southern Kaduna. Yes, you're an entertainer. Yes, you are an executive producer and the rest. But how do you internalize all of that?
It's hard, and it's quite sad as well. It's a tough situation. It's rampant. It's repetitive. What's going to change? And I think that apart from apprehending the culprits, and you guys have done great in bringing these issues to life and to our consciousness. For me, it's about the root causes. We need to try and go back to the drawing board and figure out why this continues to happen over and over. We can't keep, year on year. It's almost like an anniversary, type of situation. Quite sad and honestly annoying, we must try and lend our voices one way or the other. It's barely enough. We make noise about global situations and challenges, but this is happening right here in our home. What is causing it? Why? We're all of the same skin. We're all of the same, heritage, as it were.
Blood flows through our veins.
And blood flows. We're all human. So what's the root cause? Is what I would say. I'd love to see, the authorities, as it were, try to. I don't hear anybody really trying to talk about it. Yes, want to apprehend the culprits. What happened? Where are they? Who are they? Why did they do this? But, what's causing this?
Okay, now that maybe that is off your chest,
right?
That is off your chest. We needed to get that off our chest because, of course, people are dying. Nobody should be smiling when people are dying. Maybe let's look at the brighter side on your journey before we dig deep into what Dare has now become larger than life and all of that. Walk us through that journey to South Africa for a bit.
Oof, that's a long time ago now.
Yes.
2004. Well, I was on the radio, as you've rightly highlighted earlier. I used to work at Cool FM as an on-air personality. Did all of it, morning, afternoon, overnight, especially the overnight, you know, the graveyard shift.
The graveyard shift. Goodness.
And I was doubling, you know, in school as well at the time, doing all sorts of entertainment-related jobs. And I actually played this commercial on the radio back in the day, and it was call to audition for that show.
No way.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you know what, let me use my break time. And quickly, you know, I hopped on my motorcycle, I went to the audition, and really the rest of it is, to cut the long story short, I think there was 3 of us that represented Nigeria at the time, and I became the one that kind of went through the funnel and came out, made it to the finale, as it were. Didn't win, but didn't need to. Just used that opportunity as a launching pad, and the rest is history.
Well, for me, I followed that, and I interviewed you not long after that. So I remember, it's funny how I remember even your performance, Dance with My Father. Ooh. And I don't remember the winner of Project Fame.
Right.
That was a huge performance that has been ingrained in my memory.
Yeah.
How would you say that, you know, transformed your career through the years and, you know, up until where you are today?
I mean, to think that I started, you know, in church, choir, started with doing covers, and then graduated to writing my own music and going on the show and using that platform for more visibility and just let people know that there's some talent here, and then building a career off of that. It's just been interesting for me, and it's something that I've evolved, you know, beyond the music. I've applied all of those things to everything that I've done over the years, and I think creativity is just paramount in that regard.
So there's Dare Art Alade.
Yes.
But there was Art Alade.
Ah, the one before.
The one before. And I know a lot of people might not know the story, but you were, let's say you were born into a family of a celebrity already at that time with what, you know, your father had done across board.
Spot on.
Spot on, right? And I imagine you got a lot of that from him, watching him.
Well, I was very young.
Very young then, so maybe it's genetics,
yes.
not essentially
yes.
Nurture, more nature. But a lot of people know you. I mean, look at that beautiful music video that you've put out. So you churn out a lot of work. I don't know how much the Gen Zs or the netizens are, but for me, I still have a graph.
We're Gen Z now.
There you go, Kayode.
Are you guys laughing at him or
no,
We're laughing for him.
I am a Gen Z also.
You're Gen Z.
Maybe we need to redefine what Gen Z means.
Guys,
every few years.
I'm a Gen
Z. Adjusted.
I know, right? Just expand the gap. But for me, I still have a grouse against the lady in You're Not the Girl I Used to Know.
Right.
I'm like, why did you do that to Dare? I mean, we were all on your side, not on the lady's side.
Yes.
So a lot of us grew up on your music, being a fan of you, and I must say, a lot of people. But I need to touch on something which is quite tricky, and that's how vital music is as a tool for consciousness, for political change, and the rest. That song for me was a big deal because I believed it. But what we have these days, a lot of people say music is not as conscious as it ought to be. The content doesn't drive. I mean, they talk about Fela, for example. We still groove to his music today. And while you're grooving, you're thinking about governance and how things should be better. So you tell us about what you're doing in music now, because I know you've transitioned to a lot of things, but speak to the music industry. Do we still have that value in the music industry where music is seen as a tool for change, political change, change in governance, positive change generally?
It should be. I think we need more of that. To be honest, I think our music now is more escapism than anything else. We try not to live in the current reality, and we create another bubble where people can just go to and, you know, feel free, have fun, and that heightened sense of pleasure, as it were. And it reflects in the music, it reflects in the lyrics, you know, and the vibe that we currently have. There's nothing wrong with it, you know, but we do need more of, you know, what you're talking about. God rest his soul, people like Sound Sultan, you know, who would always use, you know, that platform to speak. I try to inspire, you know, to motivate, you know, with some of the songs that I've done over the years. Jah Guide Me, Pray For Me, you know, things like that, just to remind people that there's variety, there's something else, you know, that, and I've said this, you know, for many years, you can't be studying and listening to most of the kind of songs that we have now. There should be music for all sorts of moods, you know. Yeah. You pictured it.
I got the point. You're going to fail that exam straight up.
So variety is important, and I think that speaking, whether it's truth to power or inspiring the masses, or you know, what kind of music would you play in this current temperature that we have, you know, with these killings and all of that, because art imitates life, you know, really and truly. But our art, seemingly music, you know, is quite is an escapist.
And I'm curious. Before I ask my next question, is why do you think this escapism, as you call it, is prevalent in spite of what's going on? People just choose to say, "Look, I can't deal."
The wala too much. That's like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, you know, but it's just the way that we find that's how we cope, you know, create our own different
enclave. Just before we leave the escapism, speaking of Afrobeat, it has evolved, you know, as Kadi has rightly said, from the time of Fela, the grandfather of the brand of music. You know, what we see with the generation of Davido and Burna Boy, they've infused dancehall, you know, and a more modern percussions into the brand of music. But that consciousness is being lost. Either it's using the brand of music to speak truth to power, or to inspire, or to cause us to reflect. Is it losing? Are you worried that Afrobeat is losing its potency?
Well, in answering the question, my response might not be what you're expecting. What I'm more concerned about Afrobeat's losing is the relevance, the hype and the attention that we are enjoying now, because we need to use this attention to trickle down the value chain. We need to use it to build infrastructure. We need to use it to get the next generation of stars, as it were, you know, ready for that global limelight, and we're not doing enough, you know, to my thinking.
But it's selling.
It's selling. It's trending. It's now. But I'm also thinking, you know, for the future.
Let me bring in the issue of money at the end of the day, because money is quite important.
Yeah.
I know that PwC had done a report, I think in 2021 or so, about the contribution of entertainment in Nigeria to about 2.3.
Yeah.
That came to about over $600 million. If you put it in Naira, about 200 billion Naira. And just like she said, one of the concerns we're having now is the industry was built in spite of government. And it appears that it's going that way, even though government is trying to show interest in all of that. So if you were to speak to government and everybody involved in terms of the value chain, the opportunity, because what they look at sometimes, if you go to the banks, is the volatility. If I put $1 million on Dari Atalade to create this, that, how much am I going to get in return? So what are they, on your side as practitioners, what should you be doing to attract investment? And what is expected? Because we need to move from empowerment to real investment. Now, Burna Boy, Westgate, they are going all over venues. We don't even have venues for concerts anymore. So we don't have this bookings. So what should we be doing?
You've hit the nail on the head, and I think that's it's the truth. And I think that's the bottom line. Recent conversations have happened. You touched on governments. In fact, I think recently, a few weeks ago, I was there when the vice president, you know, apologized literally, you know, to the creative sector, saying, look, we know that we have been playing catch up. You know, we're sorry. We know that you built this, as you said, despite, you know, not having full support or, you know, the involvement of governments, as it were. And you've flown the flag, and you guys are doing great. But now they want to capitalize. They want to latch on. What does that mean at the end of the day? We need to be taxable, you know, at the end of it.
But that's what you like to hear?
No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with, you know, capturing, you know, it's government as well as a business, right? So you empower, then you can tax. Fantastic. You know, you can't do it the other way around.
Sure.
You know, so talking about that empowerment, things that we've tried to do on as live sports, you know, for example, Entertainment Week Lagos, is we need to build hubs, you know, where actual empowerment can happen, whether it's learning, you know, upskilling, trainings, workshops, things like that, which we've done over the last couple of years for free, to anyone, any practitioner within the value chain, whether it's lighting, sound, and all of that. And then the question of infrastructure as well. Venues, you have some of the biggest stars, as you said, global stars right now are Nigerians, but when you are my friend, you're a big. I am. Yes, now you sell arenas around the world. I mean, too, in my country, I'm also big, But if I were to invite you, to come on a tour, in Nigeria to perform to the millions of people here, where are the venues, that I can be proud to say, my friend Ed Sheeran,
Can't perform here.
Yeah. Where's your guitar?
Yes. Good multimedia and the rest.
So those are some of the actual challenges that we are hoping. That's where there's opportunity for partnerships. That's where the government needs to, come. Whether it's land, whether it's funding, financing, things are happening. If we're able to get more single-digit loans, or grants, as it were, to build this infrastructure, then we can answer that question of, if I were to give you $1 million, as investment into whatever project or this infrastructure, then you can see, the trickle-down effect. How much would it be hired out? How many times a day or a week or a year can that investment make, its money back? So these are things that we're working on.
But the thing is this. I know that you personally have been able to transition quite brilliantly, I must add, from radio to music, now events. So you're like the dream, or you're living the dream for a lot of people. Because, music, some will say, can't, for the average musician, you can't live on music for life. And we've seen a lot of musicians that reign there now are coming out to ask for donations, sadly. So I think it's just the downside of that. But you have done it quite well. First, what are you up to these days? I won't be surprised if you're running for president. No. So you're not planning to go into politics?
No political ambition.
But why? Because you've sort of done quite well in music entertainment, and it's essentially the same principles. You learn to build and scale up.
We've not finished the one we are doing. We have not even finished.
But some of your colleagues have,
which is okay. So, which is all right.
While you're telling us what you're doing, pardon me, Jeff, I need to get this in. The dearth in your brand of music, the soul space.
Yeah.
I know you've been on break for some time now. We have the likes of Asha, we have the likes of Yinka Davies, but it's becoming less popular, if you've observed. So what's happening? What are you being deliberate about getting soul and jazz back on the scene?
That's a big question.
Add that question to the fact what you're doing now as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the evolution. I don't think that I can continue doing the same thing over and over again and expect the same results. I'm trying to do it at a different direction, and it's more about empowerment. For example, Entertainment Week Lagos, which we just concluded, last December, the second edition. Over the last 2 years, the 2 editions that we've done, we've employed almost 2,000 people, and that's, again, across the value chain. So beyond the music, it's really about value. And you say politics, if I can, myself, my team, my wife, and all of us that work together, if we can continue to create that value, then that's success for us. That's the actual success. The beauty of the music and the emotions and the quality of sound that you talk about, I think we can continue to inspire, other people. We've done our bits, at least we've put in enough effort to say, okay, you know what, maybe someone would borrow a leaf from what we've done and say you could, take it and fly with it. But as far as I'm, to answer, maybe not. I'm not sure about new music for now.
But you haven't stopped writing, have you?
Maybe.
No, I have a lot of unreleased music. But whether they will see the light of day, I'm not very sure.
Another question entirely. So no music this year. Let's just respect ourselves.
Whatever happens today, Derek has to sing something. I don't want to put him in a box. Whether you want to pray for me, you want to do redemption song, or you want to
traumatized.
Even with the song, even the unreleased song is fine by us.
I know, but before you do that, Jeff, because I know a lot of people might want to hear you sing. Some of our old timers sending in their questions say, you know, we've had National Stadium selling out. Awilo used to perform there and the rest. And it was a thing, a big thing there. So what exactly is the challenge, particularly with our venues? Because I know it's a big deal, particularly for December. Yeah. It wasn't quite dirty as it ought to be. So what is a big deal? What is the exact issue? So we can hopefully solve it this year.
You just hit it. It wasn't quite as dirty as the dirty December. Yes. That's because the patterns are changing. This year we'll see a big switch and change in the palette of the consumers, the audience. Even from a marketing perspective, entertainment perspective, AI will play a big role in how we consume. You know, AI will do the heavy lifting, the data, work, while the creatives can work on the content, the storytelling, and all of that. Is
it the result of the socioeconomic challenges we find ourselves in as well? Because we hear that O2 Arena in London is being populated.
That's a part of it. And I was going to, piggyback on and try and answer that question. Is again back to that infrastructure, challenge is identifying the places, the spaces, and then retrofitting it in a way that it works for a variety of things. So whether it's a concert, whether it's a wedding, whatever type of event it is, it has to be standardized, at least from a global perspective, so anybody and everyone can use it.
We're looking up to you, people like you in the industry, to expand that value chain, because no matter how much innovations are coming in terms of AI and all of that, artists still go. In fact, some of them, I don't know the last time they came to Nigeria, they still sell out venues. So venue is still a big deal. So maybe we have to look at security as one of the issues that is limiting some of this thing when it comes to tourism. But hey, I understand we're totally out of time, but I'm still on my Dari has to sing before we
let him go. No grief for Dari this year.
So you choose a song. No grief for anybody. So let's not forget Dari also does the reality TV shows. What's that reality TV?
Live Sport. We produce Real Housewives of Lagos.
So for those of you who don't know,
we also produce Last One Laughing.
Really?
Amazon, yeah.
Love from a Dream show.
Love Like a Movie.
Love Like a Movie show.
Yes. Amongst many other.
So you're making good money.
We're working hard.
So it's a money-making industry. If you're creative enough, you can make it in the industry.
That's why it's called show business.
Yeah.
So Dari,
business of it.
we're just, maybe we will sign off the segment with you singing
a little something.
A little something for us.
Okay. Where's my cam? 5, 4.
Where's it?
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
4. It's 4.
So sing to the people. So I'm not
sing to the people. No.
To
the people. They've not heard you sing for a long time. Let me bring my phone.
I'm gonna get this on camera. Go ahead. It's all
No. You guys wait for your lady.
Speed.
Okay.
Yeah, and rolling action. Woke up on Friday morning, told my daddy I'm leaving home. I'm going off to the city tomorrow, even though I don't know where to go. Pray for me, Badura for me, yeah. Pray I'll find my way. Forgive me, Father, but I gotta take a chance. Oh, I'm already gone. Like, I'm literally gone.
You're gone right now. Oh, look at that.
One and only.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
And of course, co-founder and chief creative officer of Live Sport 360, Dari Holiday. Thank you so much for coming through and being part of the program. So thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to bring you back because this money business this year
it's an ongoing.
No grief for anybody.
No grief for anybody.
You may just see us around Live Sport. So guys,
we just might get a live performance on the morning brief.
Yeah. There's a lot coming up. We did tell you that besides Dari singing for us, after he's not sung for like 12 years, that was the exaggeration. We have a lot more coming for you in terms of the creative industry. Another part of the creative industry that has to do with behind the scenes, as well as those of you who have made up your mind, like Bukola, that this year you're going to keep fit. That is going to be part of the conversation after this break. Join us again.
Yes, you might recall that song Still a hit, as they say. Watching it again just brings back memories. And guess what? On the show this morning, we have the brains behind that video. So essentially the idea is to speak to these industries that are doing quite well, helping the image of Nigeria, not just the image, but the economy of Nigeria. So this year, 2024, we can build on it and ensure that we leverage on our areas of competitive advantage. Guys, we have joining us on the show this morning two gentlemen who worked very hard on that music video that won awards and all shattered records, essentially. Buhari Olalekan, Unlimited LA, is right here with us, the cinematographer and music video director, directed that video that you saw right there. I don't know whether to call you Buhari or Unlimited LA or Olamilekan or everything together.
Unlimited LA is fine.
It's fine. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And right next to him, John Angel, fashion stylist. He styled that movie. So all of the good work you saw in that video, rather, he was behind it. Good morning as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Due to popular demand, someone asked that I ask you that, how do you grow your hair and your beards? And I just had to indulge.
Healthy like this?
This will be 4 years this year.
Wow.
It started from lockdown. Actually, you know, I was tired of calling the barber to come to the house and collect 7K every week, because I was really on I was on low cuts. I cut my hair like every week, you know. I wasn't making money, and this guy was coming to the house to cut my hair, lockdown money. So one day I just decided that I stopped coming.
Enough is enough.
And that was it.
So this is all natural, you don't have any...
Nothing natural.
So you can hear that for that person whom I must not mention.
You don't rub anything, you don't...
Yeah, treatments,
okay, that's
just
all.
hair cream, basically.
Okay.
Nothing extra.
So perhaps it's in the genes, yeah.
I don't know.
So guys, let's talk about your industry. Big industry. You guys did so much last year, and a lot of people look at you and say, these are the ambassadors of Nigeria. These are the guys really helping to propagate the positive side of our nation. By the way, there are lots of positives, but I'll start with you, Unlimited LA. A lot of people know your name. They might not see your face a lot, but they see your work and the rest. But speak to us. Your industry, we just had Daria Altalade talking about, some of the pitfalls, some of the things that they expect should be better in the industry, some of the opportunities in the industry. This is the year that we grieve for nobody. So tell us, 2023, what was it like? 2024, what should we be doing for our creative industry?
I think generally the creative industry is moving forward and still building, and because 2023 we had like investors moving, like Empire, 1RPM, Sony, yeah, coming in. And even recently, United Masters just came into. So these are like investors coming into the business, and they're making the business bigger, for, budget-wise, creative-wise, the reach. Like, you see the movement of Afrobeat, so yeah, everybody's trying to, jump on that train. And it's good. So we are moving forward every day. We keep getting better in the creative industry.
Are you charging more for your music videos as well?
Well, there's more money involved in it now. Absolutely. So I can't charge how much I was charging like 4 or 5 years ago, or even last year. So because people understand the effort we put in behind the scenes. So these investors really understand, and are bringing in the funds to.
Okay, before...
Sorry, I'm just always curious to ask, and I know this is quite controversial, but just so we put it all out there, what is the average rate to shoot a movie? I know it's been very controversial. Someone put up something out there of music video. Forgive me. So what is the average rates cost to shoot?
Are you asking me in person, or you want me to speak generally now?
So just to maybe sort of get a sense into what you do, all of the work that goes into it. It's not just point a camera and shoot.
Yeah.
Dance to the music and then that's it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So what does it cost?
What I would say is, because this is essentially creative, and you can't really put a price tag on it. I've shot a video for free. And you probably would have seen the video, but I don't want to mention that. I've shot a couple of videos for free, and I've shot videos very expensive.
Doesn't mean it didn't cost you. Because I'm sure equipment, styling, all that. It cost you, but you probably just...
I get that because I also run a production house. Yeah. So most of these things, I own them.
Right, so what's like the range? 10,000?
Don't worry, LIRS is not listening.
That's what I'm trying to say, because I can afford to shoot a free music video for you and peg it at $100,000. But I won't take anything from you. It's creativity, so you can't really put a charge on it.
Okay, you maybe you on the mic and off it again. when you called your mic, you didn't know what to answer.
Yeah, you can't use creativity. You can't put a charge.
I'm going to come to Angel in a moment, but at what point should a musician consider shooting a video?
As soon as you have any record out. Now, as a musician, I always tell new artists, you don't have to source for the most sought after video director or cinematographer at that point in time. I'm sure there's one guy around in your neighborhood that is very good with even with the mobile phone or with the small camera. I mean, is that, like I said, is creativity. You can't really put a price on it. So I will advise new artists, like if you don't have to sort for the biggest director because just you have a single or maybe you just recorded a song yesterday, you're looking for unlimited eloquence speakers. No, you don't have to do that.
Okay. Let's come to you, Angel. You're the image maker in terms of he points the camera, sets the light and all of that. Of course, he's the creative director to make sure that, but you have a vision of how a particular artist should look like, how a particular sound should be conveyed in terms of fashion. So when you look at a particular, maybe lyrics of a song, and you look at the brand of an artist, what exactly do you put together to make sure that you interpret that styling correctly?
So I think one of the first things to look out for when you have the scripts, read the scripts, the storyline determines the way the artist should look like. The storyline, the scene, the location, and sometimes you also consider the personality of the artist and his audience as well. We have, let me give you for instance, the way a D'banj dress or a Timaya is different from the way the new guys will dress. For instance, a Charlie Poppy or Omale Ashake. Two different. So you all need to consider their personality, their sound, and their audience as well. So concepts, location, storyline, everything includes for you to consider how an artist needs to appear on the screen.
We cannot have these conversations without talking money because money at the end of the day is called showbiz for a reason. How affordable is it to get a stylist for an artist, whether an established artist? Because we asked Unlimited early, he was diplomatic about the number and intimidated us with $100,000.
You get it right.
So what is the range in the industry? Or does it depend on the size of the project itself? And what's the average?
A lot of things. You need to consider a lot of things. You consider a lot of things. If you're an up-and-coming artist, I don't think... If you have the budget to go for the biggest stylist at that point, go for the biggest stylist at that point. But that does not mean that there are not some stylists who are coming up as well, and they are doing great too. And how would I put it?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one because a lot of stylists are doing well. So I can't say that you have to go for the most expensive stylist. Everybody plays value on themselves, really. And I cannot charge someone who is coming up or give the price of an Ashake to someone who is just coming up. So the prices, there's no particular amount to what I would charge, you know. And also it depends on the concept of what you're trying to go for, what you're trying to achieve.
You know, one of the things people are advocating for is...
Oh, by the way, that's just one of the styles that you did, right?
That's the look for Kiss Daniel's album. The new album is Maverick here.
Right.
That's it.
I'm tempted to ask how much it costs for that.
I don't know what I would... We ask questions. How much did it cost to get Kiss Daniel's coming out like this? Did you bring the clothes or did he buy it for himself? What exactly did you do?
These are all mine. All of this came from me. We had a conversation about what the album should look like, and I said, okay, let's go. I sent a couple of options, and we went for it. And there's no price, but that cost a lot. This particular look cost a lot. Yeah, you can see it looks really expensive.
Okay. People are running away from that question. We're not going to for you this year.
They're running away. But one of the questions I want to throw in before Kayode comes in is the fact that there's a value chain in the industry, one of which is your fashion space. One of the things we try to do on the show is to see how when young people, netizens watch and they are inspired, they be able to take something away. So if you're advising a netizen or a young person who wants to say, I don't want to be an unlimited LA, I don't want to be a director like that, I want to style people, some level of a kit for them to guide them, what will it be?
I think first thing is to be creative, know what you want and know what you're doing. At the end of the day, it's creativity. Once you're creative, you can make nothing out of creativity. He knows much of my story and how I was able to do a lot with nothing, And now that I can conveniently ask for a certain amount, I'm still doing more. So it's not about how much you're giving to prove yourself. I think if you're creative enough, if you know what you're going into, you make a lot of research about what you're going into, you can make it. It's a business of creativity. You can make nothing out of anything.
So essentially the possibilities are unlimited.
Like Unlimited LA.
You got that right. Okay, let me come to you Unlimited Naturally, Unlimited LA. And still sort of the question Jeff asked John Angel. Yeah. So which Angel. Are you comfortable with? Angel is better, right? Angel. Yeah, I think it sort of fits your personality. The starter pack, let's speak to if a young Nigerian out there, because it's a big industry. A lot of people want to be doctors, engineers, lawyers, and the rest, but I don't quite see children in school say, I want to be a music video director. But it's actually a big one. I mean, a lot of people look up to you as well. Say, I want to be a stylist. I want to be a teacher. It's changing, right? Fantastic. Yeah. Well, I've seen children say, I want to be a model and the rest. And we'll come to some of that. But if you were to give a starter pack to a young Nigerian out there who wants to be a creative like you, who wants to shoot lovely videos, you have a story, and he said that, he started from literally nothing. I imagine you have your story as well. What would be in that starter pack that you hand to them this morning?
Your mobile phone, your smartphone. That's all you need.
Really?
That's all you need.
So use it to shoot? Use it to edit?
Yes.
But everything. It wouldn't look like yours now.
No, it would look... Have you seen, there's a particular Beyonce video that was shot on the iPhone 6.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yes. I've shot my first attempt at this business was I used my own mobile phone, recorded myself singing to a Da Green song, put it on the timeline, edited, taught myself how to edit. That was my first take. And also, if you go to my page, you see some of the things I've done with my mobile phone. It's that simple. Most of the skits you watch are shot on the mobile phone. So
it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as
because
that.
a lot of people think I have to get this kind of equipment. I need the lights. I need the camera.
Everything is in your hand. Your smartphone is good to go.
And I do hope that someone out there is listening and taking notes, because there's literally, from their stories, you'll hear that there is no obstacle in front of you except the ones you create with your mind. They started literally from nothing, and here they are. They can't even tell us how much they charge, so they're that big.
Yeah, that really. Yeah.
But speak to this point, which is quite concerning for a lot of people. Our entertainment industry is within a cultural context, right? When I say cultural context, we're not like America, for example, there's a culture, there's an American culture, there is an Indian culture, and which you see play out in Bollywood, in their music. There's a Chinese culture, which you see out playing in their movies, even in their social media, the way governance works. You can't just jump on certain social media. Even in Dubai, for example, you know, there's a cultural context that then plays out in everyday life. So there are concerns from a lot of people saying, well, the entertainment industry as of today seems to be eroding that culture, essentially. So a lot of things are borrowed. They see, well, certain images on television and they wonder, this does not gel with our culture. Is that a concern you have as well? Because you are the guys that project the entertainment industry. Is that a concern you have? How do you ensure that our culture is preserved in the work that you do? I'll start from you, then go to him.
I think, thinking about it, I think Nigerians are the most traveled. I think I read it somewhere, most traveled. So now you have your cousin, your friend, one is in the US, one is in Europe, one is in Russia, one is in, and they're living out there. Their taste is beginning to change. And so I think what we do mostly as a creative, as a music video director is, directing a video for an artist, he will say, oh, bro, I want my fans in the US to really feel this.
So consumer is king.
Yes, I want my fans in Europe to really know that, oh, this was good. I want my fans in Africa too. So sometimes we just put everything together and just throw it out there. So I think it's because of, should I say, Nigerians in diaspora that make us put all these things together and make it look like, oh, we have our own culture too. But at the same time, because we are all over the place, now we need to let everybody know that, oh, we'll be here. Because I remember a time for I think it was 2015, throughout 2015, most of my music videos, I didn't shoot them in Nigeria. It was basically South Africa and the US because of who the artists were trying to appeal to at that particular time. But right now, I don't think, people barely go out of Nigeria to shoot. All the music videos you see are done here, because of course there's more capacity, there's more budget to do things there. So I would say it's the Nigerians in diaspora that inspire, those diversity in the videos that you see.
What about you, Angel? Because dressing is key.
Repeat your question.
The question, essentially, there are concerns that the way the entertainment industry, the way people dress, the way they are styled, even the content of the music, the content of the content itself is eroding at our culture of respect, culture of modesty, culture of decency and the rest. So is that a concern you have? Have you had to face that? And how are you ensuring that our culture, or at least those simple principles of life, decency and the rest, is still protected?
So one of the things I've decided on my own to do is when I have the opportunity to project our culture, I do that. For instance, when any international artist is in Nigeria, I don't put them in what they are used to. I give them what our tribe, our outfit, our culture. I try to interpret our culture to them, and they love it. For instance, French Montana was in Nigeria like 3-4 months ago. Yeah, I had other outfit he wore, but he loved the agbada I gave him.
Correct, Yoruba demon.
And that was the first thing he posted on his page, and it went viral. The same thing when Dabibi was in Nigeria as well. Like all the outfit he wore for the video with Davido was all Nigerian outfits.
You styled him as well.
I styled him as well. It was all Nigerian outfits. So that's one way. I've seen that what do I want to give to French Montana that he hasn't worn before? What do I want to give to Dabibi that he hasn't worn before? The only thing I could give him that would interest him to wear, that would make him look rich and love it, is our culture. And that's one way I try to interpret or try to sell and improve our culture to these people. When they post it on their page, I got a lot of international calls and deal to get the same outfit these guys were wearing, and I shipped them off over for some good.
I want to follow up on that particular question, because some people within the African culture, they're quite conservative and they don't want to see nudity on TV and all of that. That's what you have PG-18, PG, and all of that to be able to restrict access to viewing. So sometimes you wonder, who really pushes for these particular elements into music video? Is it the creative directors like you or LA, or the artist itself, or is it hybrid?
It's not me. It's not me. They are the one. At the end of the day, they tell me
you answer
this
for
is
yourself.
what they want. They tell me this is what they want. I have to interpret what they want, and also because if you check it, it's also a way of getting people glued and connected to their TV screen to want to watch. It's also a marketing strategy. Let's be frank.
LA.
I don't know if I answered that. At the end of the day,
let me quickly say this. Now, the first question is, who own the rights to this material?
The contents.
Who own the
Rightful
content?
owners.
I don't own the content.
So it's not you.
I don't own the content.
So there's an hierarchy.
So I don't own the content. It belongs to the client, which is the artist. So, and they say customers are always right. Artist comes to me and say, I want 50 girls naked in this video. I will only charge you and tell you that, okay, this is what is possible. As an artist, you know what you want. You know what your audience, you know who your audience are and the people you are trying to target. So if you come to me and tell me that, I don't have a choice than to give you exactly what you want, because at the end of the day, the rights to that material does not belong to me. So I am not the one.
So you guys are just following I think there's an advertising principle called attract, engage, and retain. So I understand all of that. Well, we just need to know who is the culprit here.
So you're not the culprit, you're the corporate stylist.
You're the corporate stylist. You're the corporate director. I wanted to find out from you, LA, and as well as you, this question is for both of you. AI is a great thing, but it's also a threat. And you've mentioned a couple of things that young people can start off with. So in your industry, given the miniaturization of technology to be able to push things that our big cameras can do, is that a problem coming, or you're seeing it as complementary to exactly what you're doing?
It's not a problem. Like you can't really fight technology, and it's always like for beginners, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you want to do these things, there's also a conventional way of doing things. You still have to go to the cinema, you have to do all that, and you can't shoot anything on your mobile phone and take to the cinema. Contrary to what I said you can start with mobile phone. Yes, but for a starter, you're not doing anything to take to the cinema. You're shooting things for people to watch on their mobile phone. So it's fine if you use your mobile phone. AI is really helping us in terms of CGI, visual effects, and all that. It's really, really helpful in that. And I don't see it as a threat, honestly, because it's really helping us.
Angel?
Technology will always win. Technology will always win. It's, for me, helping me. I go on and I search, I check for things and
get inspiration.
Technology is always win, and but like he said, there are some things that if you still want to get, there are some places you would go, not AI.
Oh yeah.
So
at that point, technology didn't win.
Your creativity won, right?
I wouldn't put it that way, because some people still prefer the old school to the
conventional way of doing it. Yeah.
So 1-1, goalless draw, as I say. I'd like to also ask you, and I know that there's lots of challenges you guys face, and I'm hoping that we can touch on them as we move on. But speak to us about why you have no jackpot. Because I know there's a lot of young people say, no, I need to japa. And
by the way, I'm sure you have to say that's Angel and
Frenchman.
No, can we go back to the other picture?
Kiss Daniel.
Montana, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right?
That you were talking about. Right. So that's how to project the culture.
If you have like the full look, I think there's a full look of this image, so you see what he looks like.
Okay. After the styling, when the picture was taken.
Yeah, I think if they have it, they can put it like the way he had the hat already and the horse still.
Okay.
He was really looking like I'm a king, a Yoruba king.
And that's what our culture essentially does. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that's
it. Yeah.
This is beautiful.
You know.
This is beautiful.
Jeff, that's the life. Come to this side. Try someone. So I was asking you because I know it's a trend now, buzzword, japa. People say, well, you can't make it here. Well, of course, we've seen that has been trounced time and again. But for talents like you, I imagine there's a lot of demand for your talent out of Nigeria. So I don't know if it's a thing of condition or you decided to stay back. But why have you not jabbed? Are you planning to jab?
Especially Angel.
What is it about Nigeria for both of you?
Let him speak first.
Okay, so I've been traveling like for a long time. I've been to 21 countries, and I love my Nigeria at the end of the day. And I don't just travel to these countries to go on vacation. No, I go there to work. So I really mix with the culture and the people. But at the end of the day, I still prefer Nigeria. Now, some people may say, "Oh, is it because you have the opportunity to always go and come travel anywhere?" Maybe, because I've like I said, been to 21 countries, and
no place like home.
No place like home, and again, demand for our talent, yes, but I don't forget that Nigeria, we have the number. If you have anything to sell, I prefer to sell it in Nigeria because we have the number. I mean, me going to the US to shoot, I'm just like a dog in the city because there are loads of, talented people there. I just joined. I'll just get on the same bus.
Start over.
But in Nigeria, I know how much I'm valued. In other African countries, I know that I'm very valued. So, I mean, japa is not in the process for me at all.
Angel?
I don't see myself giant buying. I don't see myself running. Yeah, should I be running? I don't see myself. I can always go and come, but I don't see myself. I've traveled as well, and I always want to run back home. The first week is good, second week is good. When it gets to the third week, I'll be like, no, where's I miss Amala.
Took that out of your mouth.
I always want to run back home, and home is always home. Everybody knows that home is always home.
I didn't think it was going to end on this very, sober note, but you guys have proven to be even better than what people see on TV and see on social media. There's so much, content to you guys, and I want to say we appreciate that, absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing some part of your craft with us. We're expecting a lot of things this year, right?
Yes. That's I can't talk about right now.
Yeah. Okay. Lip seal, I get it. Buhari Olalekan, Unlimited LA cinematographer and music video director. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as John Angel, fashion stylist.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
great
so
to have
much.
you. Wish you the very best. And please,
thank you.
No grief for anybody.
I know grief.
And thank you so much. In the mix.
Absolutely.
We're here. We did here.
We're here.
Absolutely. So we go to break now. When we return, we're going to be doing some sort of fitness, wherever you are, at work, at home. This is something you don't want to miss. It's on your New Year's resolution, yes, we know. So let us help you achieve that in a moment. Stay with us right here, till the morning brief.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Morning Brief. And what a ride it has been this morning. A lot of insights and a lot of revelations from our last segment. It was, a thorough one for me. And we're moving on to... Gary, why are you laughing?
It's okay.
It was thorough. You guys asked one of the questions that I meant to ask.
The person who must not be named. Now you know who the person is.
Okay, so this time around we're moving ahead. And yes, I'm also into fitness. And don't listen to Jeff about what my goal is, but I'm into fitness to a very large extent. I embrace it. So our next guest is going to be taking us through all of that, the essence of fitness, the importance of fitness, and should be busting those myths about why we need to exercise daily. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Beauty Musa, fitness and wellness coach.
Yeah.
It's so good to have you on the program.
I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to be here, honestly.
Absolutely. Great to have you.
Great to have you.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
let's start right off. I know from the time I was in secondary school, we usually had exercise. Even in primary school, we had a day set aside for exercises, and we had a physical and health education teacher. But that aspect of the field has evolved over the years, particularly with technology, and we have people branching out, with a lot of tools to work with. How do you see that evolution over time?
Actually, in time past, as in, let's say, 20 years ago, fitness has actually not been something that has been embraced, especially in this side of our country, because people look at it as waste of time. If I'm sweating when I'm going to the office, why do I need to exercise? So most people just look at it as something that they don't really want to dive into, But over time, people have actually seen that fitness has so much role to play, especially in the health of people. You'll agree with me that during the COVID-19 period, majority of those that were affected were those with low immune system. And so many people had to start working out online and doing some things, sort of exercises in their homes, because that was when they now realized, actually exercise is something that has come to stay. If so many people are coming down with this virus because their immune system is not strong enough, they now wanted to build their immune system over that short period of time, So, like you said, it has actually evolved. So, but because of what happened in 2020, it has now magnified the intensity of the way people now look at fitness. You see so many companies wanting to go for corporate fitness packages for their workers, So many people want to now make it a way of life, So it has actually really evolved, like you said.
Now, Kadi asked a very instructive question earlier on during that last segment about how people who want to be creatives, what they need to know. I wonder if there are many people in this generation, even in the old generation, who would say that they want to become fitness coaches. But is there an increasing interest in it? And if there's any in the first place, what would you be saying to such people?
There's actually an increase in the fitness industries, especially for people that want to be fitness instructors. To be frank with you, it pays. It actually pays, because so many people want to now have fitness instructors in their homes. Most people that don't come out, like the religion where people cover themselves, I don't want to mention the religion now, they don't want to go out to the gym. They want to invite instructors into their homes, and it's quite pricey, but you get your money value when you get a private instructor. So many people are actually going into the field. When you go to universities now, you see people going to study human kinetics and health. So many people are now diving into it. So many people are now studying it. But in time past, they were calling us, because I'm 24 years in the fitness industries right now.
How old are you?
I am over 50 years.
What?
Wow. This is part of the fitness benefit we're talking about. You see, when you make fitness a way of life, you age backwards. Your age doesn't show. You stand in the gap where teenagers are standing. You do the kind of dances that teenagers do. So fitness is actually a way of keeping off hospitals and staying healthy, because your immune system is boosted, you're agile, your strength is defined, your cardiovascular endurance is also defined, because you can now do some particular exercises without getting tired. You can do some home chores, some office works without actually getting tired. So exercise has so much role to play in helping you generally.
And we're going to do the exercise very soon, because
the actual exercise.
Yeah, this video is getting me pumped and stuff. But you take it easy on us, okay? If you're watching us right now, we'll get to the point where we get up and do some aerobics. So what do you have for us today?
Okay, my slogan is actually no fun, no gain.
Okay.
Some instructors will say no pain, no gain. let's remove the pains.
Okay.
Let's have
Before
fun.
we set out to that.
You agree with me that when you go to parties,
Yeah.
you say party all night, you party all night, you dance and you sweat and you see people dancing for 3-4 hours without getting tired. So why don't you like do such parties in the gym?
Correct.
Now,
So you heard that.
No
I
fun,
just
no
wanted
gain.
I wanted to
You're
put this
taking the
in so
party to
people
the
know
gym.
what to expect during this conversation. We'll soon get to the fun part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
speak to us. It is top on the list of a lot of people. This is the year where I get fit.
No grief for anybody.
I imagine your students are not picking your calls anymore. They are not coming for classes at this point.
No. Actually, many people have actually made a
Signed
good
up.
resolution.
Okay.
A New Year resolution for 2024 now is to join the gym and have fun.
We always say that. We said it in 2020, said it in 2021, 2022. But by February, we stop picking for they block the gym instructor. You can't come and kill me, you know.
You know why they are blocking
Tell
the
us
gym
why.
instructor? Do you know why they are blocking the
Tell
gym
us.
instructor? If a gym instructor asks you to carry a heavy tire, run from one end to the other, would you want to go the next day? This is why we are taking the party to the gym.
But that's the life you signed up
party.
for, to get fit. How do you get fit if you don't do the
By
work?
having fun in the gym. So fitness instructors are now bringing fun. They are now bringing dance. They are now bringing. You're now having like a party in the gym. It's more of like as if you're party dancing.
Absolutely, for me, Kade, is quite different. You know, the secret to consistency is the community that the gym offers. Is the community that keeps me, for instance, going back to the gym. So speak to us about how community has engendered more interest into the world of fitness.
Okay. Let me say, for instance, just last year, we got companies doing their bonding fitness. I'm not mentioning company names now. We got companies doing this fitness bonding. They call it fitness party, end of the year fitness party. So many companies were actually calling in. We have a bonding fitness party for our end of the year. So many companies are calling fitness instructors to this bonding party. Most of the time, we're going with a few gym equipment, we're going with fit balls, we're going with so many games. They play games, they work out, they do all manner of. So people have started embracing it. We even go to estates. As of last year, we were in so many estates invited instructors to come for fitness parties, fitness program, bonding. So people have actually embraced fitness more than 2 decades ago. Like I said, COVID-19 actually opened our eyes into fitness.
So, I mean, kudos to people out there who have embraced fitness. Fantastic. We
Yes,
hope
thank you. Thank you, Kade.
Okay, I see. Kudos to you. We hope you can carry it up until the end of the year. But speak to us about this. There are people who don't want to necessarily sign up for a gym or a gym instructor. They just want to do the exercise at home, in their state, and the rest. So what's the starter pack for doing your exercise at home? Do you need that ball? Do you need dumbbells? Do you need a mat? What are things you need if you want to do your exercise at home regularly, maybe in the morning or at night?
Let me tell you what usually scares people away from starting. Is when you start telling them, get this, get this, get this. Okay. You can start from where you are. You can start from your kitchen. You can do it when you're having your shower, but not in the slippery floor.
Please.
Please, you have to be careful. You don't have to buy anything. You can start from. I have clients all over the world. They join me on live, as in when I'm walking my clients out at the gym.
Just as you're doing.
Just like as I'm doing now. You can. This is live. I have so many people joining my class online.
Beautiful.
So I'm seeing you. You're seeing me. I'm correcting you. I'm giving you the kind of exercises to do. You're having fun. You're dancing. I'm motivating you. It's more about fitness motivation. So see, people shouldn't give excuses about no, I don't have the time. Please create that time. You can join online. You can join me online.
Okay, I'll try. Now, talk to us.
I was going to ask, so they don't need anything, is that what you're saying?
You can start from where you are.
So you don't
Once you start, okay, am I using anything here? I'm not using anything while aerobics is going on.
Right.
Most people even start using, I have somebody that comes to the gym. You know, these people this religion that uses on their leg. Yeah. We begged him to put on canvas, but he refused. Would you believe that his fitness is so optimal? You know, there's this one that they tell you that you walk barefooted and it has a way of, because of the magnet in the earth, that it has a way of healing you. Yeah. So they don't put on canvas. That's why I say you can start from where you are. Okay. You don't need to necessarily get some certain things.
So just as we plan to come down from our seats and begin the exercise itself, talk to us about why when you start going to the gym for the first time, for the first month, apart from the pain, you forget about the pain, that will come. But after 1 month or two, you put on weight rather than losing it. then people believe that, when I go to the gym, they say, you're not fat, you don't need exercise.
So is that a diet thing?
Someone asked that question last year when I was doing a bonding fitness party. So I was just using a slide to teach them about the benefit of fitness. And they asked this same question. Let me tell you what happens when you start working out. You see, the body starts losing inches because you're going to sweat out. You're going to lose fat. You're going to lose those viscous fluids inside of your muscular fibers, which is making your fat bulky, by the way. So when you're losing it, and then those fluids that are also inside the mesh of your tissues, when you lose them via working out and sweating, your muscles now become thin. It now becomes heavy, like beef. Your muscles now become thin and heavy.
Okay.
You lose weight. You lose inches. But you will notice you're increasing on the scale within the first 6 weeks of your workout. That is not the time to stop. That is the time to keep it up. And that is the time not to lose motivation, because you need to talk to an instructor. If your instructor knows his or her onions, the instructor will be able to explain to you the anatomical implication of that workout that has helped you thin out. You're losing inches, but you're increasing on the scale. But don't stop. After 2 months, it starts going down. Okay. And when it starts going down,
we have to reduce the talk, because a lot of people are saying we need to exercise.
In fact, I have so many questions.
What do we eat this year? What are the kind of things we should eat this year? 30 seconds.
Let's reduce white foods. Eat more of brown foods. Increase your grains. Increase your fruits and vegetables. Then let's just rule out. Not completely rule out, because, we are Nigerians. If you want to eat your white food, you can eat them.
Bread and the rest?
Yes, you can eat them. You can put them once in a week. But other days, eat your brownies, eat your fruits, eat your grains, eat your vegetables. Just just get ready to embrace that wellness lifestyle this year.
Okay.
All right.
So we need to embrace that wellness lifestyle, not just by talk, but in practice. So we're going to be doing exercise. If you're watching us wherever you are, get ready. In a couple of seconds, we'll be back to stretch, do some aerobics. We have Coach Beauty with us. She says, no fun, no gain.
No gain.
So let's have fun.
Let's have fun.
No pain, no gain. Let's be realistic.
All right, so we're going to get off now and go to that side of the studio so we can, work out. Jeff is also joining us. Jeff Rizal.
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm going to be instructor's assistant.
So, instructor, I think you stay in front of us.
Yeah, stay in front of us.
Watch you and then do what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The ones we can do, we do.
The ones we can't do?
The ones we can do, we just look.
Okay.
So, for the audience,
okay.
Are you ready?
So we started with warm-ups. Whenever you're doing any exercise routine, it's good you start with warm-up so that you don't injure any part of your muscles, okay? You start by breathing in. Let's breathe in. And then you breathe out.
So you have to space.
All right, go down a bit and breathe in. And then you breathe out. All right, you're going to stretch sideways. Just a bit of stretch. Good. And then stretch to the other side. And down. Good. Now take it up. And just take it forward. And then roll it back. Good.
Okay.
Good. All right, take it up. And just stretch sideways. Good. You feel so good with doing that. Stretch to the other side.
Jeffrey, that way.
All right. Now take it up and down. Now let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now top it. Top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Colette, so
9,
serious.
10.
I know why.
2, 3, 4, 5,
I told you I go to the gym.
Now to the other side, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8, 9, 10.
That way, guys.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now top side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the fun part. This is the fun part. This is the part where you smile. And then you put on some swagger.
Dance is what makes exercise actually fun. The jumping jacks I don't enjoy when I go to the gym, but I just do it anyway.
You prefer this?
I prefer this.
Take your arms up.
Carry the dance all right.
2, 3, 4, 5,
okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. Now stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Push it side to side. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. And
9.
You know,
push it.
Exercise also helps, Coach Musa, with your cardios, right? So it's not just for those who are overweight or who are obese.
Your legs down. 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so we do the kicks, right? Cardio, Jeffrey. Are you out of breath yet?
Never.
No. Or are you sweating?
Never.
Not yet, right?
Not at all.
All right, let's cool it down.
Oh, thank you. God bless you.
Cool it down, just cool it down.
Where is our producer? Come and join us.
Exactly.
She needs to join, right?
Yeah, producer, it's not about shouting.
All right, now you need to cool down. After every exercise regimen, it's advisable you cool down, okay?
Yeah.
And what's the required amount of time you need to rest before you go on to another routine?
Producer.
No. This is a cardio. Cardio is supposed to finish up. This is not HIIT. When it's high intensive interval training, that is when you have breaks.
Okay,
This is a cardiovascular enduring workout. So just squat down.
Okay, so after jumping jacks, how many minutes break?
Jumping jack is HIIT. It's high intensity.
High intensity.
Yeah, you can do 1 minute break.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the amount
That's
of time we're asked to rest at the gym, and it's always too short for me.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Of course, that's our producer, Yomi Otaigbe.
That's our producer.
Yeah.
I had to invite her because, you know, they'll be behind and say, move! Come and get come and face it.
I was watching you and I was wondering where you were. They go this way and you're on the other side.
I was trying to understand what was going on.
Inspiration was coming from everywhere.
You know, our producer's job is an exercise of its own. So,
man,
so
what
go
a
straight
show
to
it has
exercise.
been. Coach Beauty,
Coach
I'd like to
Beauty,
thank you so much to have you again to encourage this lifestyle. And as you said, you can start wherever you are. Ensure that this 2024 is a year you know agree for fat.
Well, I can see why Bukola, I'm seeing why Bukola is very serious with this.
Oh, absolutely.
It's in where I come from, it's called Sogbele. I don't know why you guys call it.
Jeff, I'm not going there with you this morning, but we have to wrap up.
For all young women, Sogbele is a lifestyle.
All right.
So I'm sucking belly right now.
All right, guys, it's been an amazing one. How many hours have we done this week? 10 hours?
10 hours.
10 hours.
Oh,
10 hours. Okay, the first week of the show, so I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. The morning brief, amazing. It's going to get better and bigger. We're coming back next week, Monday, for another fantastic episode right here on Channels TV. So, hey, your mornings will never be the same again. All right?
Indeed, you know, it's a potpourri of all the elements that you need to make your mornings fantastic and sprightly. So join us again next week, same time, right here on Channels Television.
So,
I
Coach
am
Beauty,
Bukola Koka.
Bukola Koka, Jeff Rizal, Yomi Otaigbe, I'm Kayode Pikilu. Goodbye, have a great weekend.
Bye.
See you on Monday.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Coach,
Let's go.